Hello and welcome back to Napa, California, Skyline Wilderness Disc Golf course for the MG Pro Lucky Shot Amateur Tournament. We are here with the final round lead card action. I am Nick Hammond with
Jesse Panetta.
right on. So we're playing this lower course here. We're getting right into things. We have Andrew Buckles leading things off with something pretty spectacular.
Nice little Annie up for a bird.
So here we have Jacob, newer player. Again, this is an amateur tournament. So this is actually his first tournament ever. He's been playing only for a couple of months up to this point. So really, really strong player. Really, really strong forehand.
Everyone being COVID compliant on the first round, wearing their masks while playing. Rene.
I mean, I've seen people not take a step, but he takes no step at all.
Big reach back and pump.
So here we are in the lower nine. Again, this is a place that does get rather windy. This day is no exception. If you look at the flags, you're going to see some putts have trouble on the green. It's what happens on the lower.
Always want to play to the wind, so you have that tailwind putt.
Birdie, birdie, birdie to start things off.
Buckles got a little bit of a gallery walking up for him.
The pressure got to him. Probably heard the pedals on that bike. And lead card jitters, though. Lead card jitters. Okay, so that was interesting. All right.
Armando finishes out.
He can handle the pressure
Jacob
of the
never
gallery.
did. Looking back there.
Again, non-sanctioned tournament. You might see some things. This is Jacob's first tournament again. He is learning as he goes, as so many of these players are. And that was almost a little skippy metal touch there. He's listening for it. A little early. He was listening for the ace. A little early on that one, it looked like. Looking for that ace shot. It's always fun to see a lefty throw on a card full of righties because I'm always astonished that the disc goes the other way.
Yep, changes up the line always.
Okay, that is a big disc.
Looked like it. This hole here does putt out a bit different than you think it would. Quite often. There's a little bit more wind than you do think there is.
There he goes. That's how you finish a hole. The disc goes into the basket, Jacob. Nicely done. Ooh, good run. There he goes. Back on track, Buckles. Nicely done. Buckles, a longtime Napa disc golf player. Unfortunately, we don't see him as often as we'd like to. He is a family man. He's got kids. They play all sorts of sports. So, of course, his family comes first. But we're always excited when he does get to come out and play an occasional tournament with the club. Oh, Andy said it.
This hole is one of my favorite sets for the lower bottom. However, we are now officially missing that middle tree as it has finally come all the way down. So it changes that area quite a bit these days.
Yeah, it was sad. It was kind of, yikes.
Not an uncommon thing to happen when that was there.
Even on the lower, you can still get the nasty Skyline rollaway. You're never safe. It can always happen, whether it be wind assisted, elevation assisted, tree assisted, or anything. So if you come out to Skyline now in early November here, he would be standing in about 2 feet of water. And that hasn't happened in a while. Okay, something happened in the background that was very exciting. This was a really fun hole when we were able to play it. There was a really skinny gap to get to the basket. These trees and bushes and little scrubby things always got in the way and made for some very
tricky putts, as you can see right here. Here's another
putts. One. The forehand flick, not the most common putting attempt, but I mean, I for one had thrown dozens of forehand flicks at that basket. So I mentioned the wind earlier. I said it can be a bit windy and it does cause problems on the green. A little breeze here. Looks slightly left to right, mildly.
Little heady.
Yeah, maybe a little heady-taily.
Little heady crossy-taily.
Little crossy-taily with some gusties. Now Jacob, a 5-foot direct headwind putt is probably one of the most terrifying things you can possibly face, especially if you don't play a lot of disc golf. Or maybe it's easier when you first start because you don't realize how challenging that putt actually is. Oh, nice finish, Buckles. Shaking hands with the basket. Did you see that? That's how you do it. And the freeze frame for the putt.
Always.
You got to stop walking, even for those 4-footers. Another fun hole. We love this tee pad up on this concrete pad. I have no idea what it was originally used for, but we have some fun Mandos, and this is a very challenging hole.
Armando!
We had 2 great drives to start things off.
I love this tee pad because you would always come across hikers heading up to the main trail, and they'd always stop and watch the whole card tee off.
Yeah, you would stand there and allow them to pass and wave them along, and they would politely decline so they could watch us play. Some really fun conversations. You get to meet new people that way. But yeah, we get to show off a little bit, and we get a little mini gallery every now and again. The disc wasn't listening to the arm waves entirely. Got him close enough for a par save. It's a very skinny straddle putt stance from Jacob. I don't think he putts like that anymore. But it's one of those things. As you first start playing, you find something that's comfortable. You see something that's comfortable, and you try it, and it works. And when you're just getting started, if anything works, you ride it until it dies. All right, so here's that super strong forehand.
Straight into
a headwind and knocked it down. That nose angle is very important into a headwind. The backhand makes it a little bit easier to get it above the wind. Oh. Jacob was a little off. It didn't make it right back to it, but... And there's a little wind to help out Andrew and throw him onto the road on top of the hill. Gauging distance on upshots is always a tricky thing when you're not trying to throw 100%. Again, especially if you're new to the game. Before I get to finish that thought, I've never seen anyone putt from this side of the road, especially into a headwind, because normally the wind goes the other way. But when you're not throwing 100%, trying to gauge distance, trying to get touch, especially when you're getting started, is probably one of the most frustrating things that I found outside of just putting, because putting is inherently frustrating. See, now the wind's going the other way. Thus is the lower 9 at Napa.
It's a swirly, swirly mess sometimes, and you just got to try and figure out how to ride the wind.
Or wait for the wind to just stop.
The basket.
Wait for the wind to stop and then putt real quick. Oh, you see our good friend Holland in the back there running camera 2. Ooh.
Dog like that shot.
I'll be honest, I was expecting it to be closer because we went to that catch camera angle. Get a skip.
This can be kind of a tricky shot. You get a little bit of height underneath it, and the breeze can take you all the way to the road. Or the fence, at least.
Yeah, it does drop off once you get over that hill, and again, you can carry quite a ways because it does drop significantly. That road, again, does play as a river, so he is safe beyond the river, but you do not want to land inside the gravel because that would be, unfortunately, out of bounds. A little strong on the forehand flick. Again, trying to figure out that touch shot is not easy. That was a beautiful putt right there. Did something get bleeped out right there? Was there someone really excited about making that putt? Jake hands it off to Buckles. Jacob now finishing off every hole since hole 1 exactly how you're supposed to.
Finish it out. Put it in the basket.
This is another fun hole. Downhill. You think it would be a lot easier to get this 250-ish foot distance, but it always plays way longer than...
And I'm saying baloney on the 250. It plays about 275, like actual throwing distance, I think. Get it over there. You throw 250, a lot of the time you end up right in the middle of the road.
Yeah. And again, the road being out of bounds, running the entire length of the hole always can be an issue, whether you're on the tee or around the green right here. Unless, of course, you're a lefty and your disc doesn't fade towards the road. So just putt lefty that way.
If you can do that, that's a great option.
See, right there, Renee wants to be a lefty because it would go around the tree.
It's got to shoot through bonsai tree.
Ooh, no tree love for Buckles. Hey, we didn't mark it, but it went in the basket.
Thank you, Jake.
We can't get all of them. That makes MG Pro
At least
happy.
it went in. You did finish the hole.
Yeah, so non-sanctioned tournament, beginner friendly. We are, being lax, but again, this is a teaching experience. So it was brought up to Jacob that he needed to finish out the holes, and that's why he's been doing it ever since. Because that's what you would have to do in an actual sanctioned tournament if you decide to play up at another level. So, we poke a little fun, but that's how we learn. That's how we figure out how to play the game.
Jacob's little one-finger forehand puts him, pretty darn close there.
I always forget he's the
Nice shot.
one-finger forehand. Oh, the card likes it. They're very excited. Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, another replay for Rene.
A replay for Rene.
Ooh!
Very deserving. Very deserving. Let's see a
little
long
golf
putt.
clap for that shot.
Yeah,
Great
you know.
shot.
A little bit strong. Yeah. Downhill putts, downhill up shots. It plays with your angles. It plays with your distance, especially if there's out of bounds right behind the basket. Not
Downhill.
all right. Jacob has that heady crosswind on that downhill upshot.
Oh, Armando can't take care of the no wind putt. Buckles back with some wind.
Buckles into the bucket. Again, those short little headwind putts you think are so non-threatening. Buckles has played long enough that he knows how devastating they can be. Jacob still doesn't understand. I mean, I think now he does. He's been playing long enough since this has been recorded. But at the time, I think he didn't realize what
And Rene with the tap in. Great shot, Rene. Great hole.
All right, guys, here we are on to hole 9. This will be the last hole of the front 9 for this lead card. We will be back for some back 9 coverage of this lead card at the MG Pro Lucky.
We would like to take this opportunity also to thank Craig Pyle for bringing out a bunch of discs for all these newer players, getting some fresh plastic and some hands out here.
Craig is a veteran of the sport and veteran of the club, and I mean, a guy that has multiple closets full of discs and some amazing plastic, and he's always willing to help out new players get more involved and more into the game. So always a good guy to have around.
And do not forget to like and follow MG Pro.
Yeah,
Always new content coming up. Multiple sports, everything, all your needs. Photography, video. Hit up our man Miguel at MG Pro.